Well, China is hosting representatives of 130 countries for a forum on its Belt and Road Initiative, and it hopes the forum will help boost its standing as a leading global power. Israel's continued bombardment of the Hamas-ruled Gaza Strip is likely to dominate the headlines. As the Israeli siege of Gaza continues, the United Nations has warned the area is on the edge of catastrophe. In the south, hundreds of thousands of people have arrived after Israel warned them to leave the north. People are sleeping in the streets, running water is limited, and there are queues for bread outside bakeries. Israel has blocked supplies of food, water, fuel, and electricity since the deadly Hamas attacks on the 7th of October. But the Israeli military denies there is a humanitarian crisis, insisting there are supplies of water and electricity. The following report takes a look at the key event in the Gaza Strip 11 days after Hamas's surprise attack.
Ministry of Health officials in Gaza have said that at least 71 persons were killed overnight in Israeli bombardments. The Israeli army said it killed 4 fighters while trying to cross the fence from Lebanon to plant an explosive device. The head of Israel's domestic intelligence agency took responsibility for failing to prevent Hamas from carrying out its October 7 rampage through Israeli towns that killed hundreds. Meanwhile, a top Hamas leader said it has all it needs to free all Palestinians in Israeli jail. The World Health Organization warned that there were only 24 hours of water, electricity, and fuel left in the besieged Gaza Strip. At least 2,808 Palestinians have been killed in Israeli air raids. The number of Israelis killed in Hamas's attack and military operations, at least 2,808 Palestinians have been killed in Israeli air raids. The number of Israelis killed in Hamas's attack and military operation stands at about 1,400, including 286 soldiers. Gaza hospitals struggle to cope with air raids and a blockade as they await the expected Israeli ground offensive. A humanitarian aid convoy for Gaza has arrived at the Egyptian side of the Rafah crossing. There is no confirmation about when the convoy will be allowed into Gaza. U.S. President Joe Biden will visit Israel and Jordan on Wednesday. The U.S. said it had agreed to a deal with Israel to allow in aid. Meanwhile, Iran's leader has said Israel will not be allowed to take any action in the Gaza Strip without facing consequences. In a phone call with President Biden, Egyptian President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi underlined the necessity of containing the Palestinian-Israeli conflict so that it does not threaten regional security. Russian President Vladimir Putin told Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu that Moscow wanted to help prevent a humanitarian disaster in Gaza as he waded into the Mid East crisis with a flurry of calls to regional powers.